Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm so happy that you're here and that you decided to join us today. Today's such an exciting video. I have been prepping and anticipating this video for a long time now, just because I've always wanted to do a Q&A, but I never put it out there. And so I just thought about doing it for my 1-year anniversary, and that's what we're doing now. If you are here, make sure that you sit back, grab your favorite drink, if you have one, your favorite snack, because it's going to be about half an hour. We're going to be talking for a while. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so if you don't know me, my name is Linda and I have a small business called Rooted Co. I started this business last year and now we are here, which is so exciting. I feel like these kind of videos are very interesting just because we don't know a lot about people and their experiences, and especially when it comes to small business life, it's very interesting, okay, to me at least. So we're gonna get started with the first question, which was, how difficult was it to upstart your business? This one is very, I feel like it's very broad, because mentally for me, it was a lot harder mentally for me than it was physically. To upstart my business, I feel like I'm very driven, so whatever my mind wants, I do it. So that's not hard for me. But the hardest part was probably mentally preparing myself to be a small business owner and do everything for this entity, which is, I did not expect the amount of burdens and responsibilities and blessings that come with it. So that was something that I can further talk about later on. I feel like difficulties and blessings are a video in itself, because I can go and talk about how hard and how easy starting a business is forever. So I will probably make another video to talk about that. But mentally hard, literally, like physically not hard. And everything that comes into that is also like financial. I don't encourage anyone to start a business if they're not financially ready. Because businesses, statistically, they don't profit within the first 5 years. They don't really profit off anything because they have to use it for everything that they have bought and invested in. So if you're not financially ready, I just don't encourage it. I personally am a saver. I have been budgeting since very young. I have had to take care of myself for a very long time, and that started when I was really young, so that I naturally am just a good budgeter. So when I started my business, I didn't have to pick up any extra shifts or work any extra hours. I already had the savings that I needed to invest into my business, which is it's a very kind gift that God has given me. And yeah, that's it wasn't that hard to upstart it, but mentally be prepared. That's my answer, I guess. What was it that inspired you to wanting to start a business? I don't know if I've ever told my backstory to my business before, but I started it by researching ways on how to make apparel for my husband. So if you don't know my husband, he is amazing. He has the coolest styles, but we spent a lot of money just getting him like the kind of shirts and sweaters that he likes to wear. They're all like graphic t-shirts, graphic sweaters. And I was like, lover, let me make something for ya. So that I started researching about how to make apparel, and that kind of just made my algorithm go to a bunch of like small business owners, small business pages, apparel businesses, and then how to start a small business. So it kind of just jumped around my algorithm, and I was super intrigued on how like small business life was. So then I did a lot of research, and I thought to myself, wow, I can make something out of this, because I'm also super creative. I have always been creative. I've always been in like musicals, arts. I won the yearbook cover contest like 300,000 times. And just like artsy. I've always been creative, and I feel like it's just a super specific niche that I have, and I have always wanted to be my own CEO. I am a leader, so I've naturally always done things for myself. And the thing that also led me to finally starting a business is the thought of the future. I struggle a lot with fear and anxiety of the future and what's to come, just because of what I've gone through, that I am like constantly thinking about the future, which is really bad. I'm still working on just like allowing God to work in my life and trusting him with everything. Yeah, so I also thought about the future, and I was like, I also need something that is very flexible, and I still always want to bring in income for my family. So for me to be a mom one day, what can I do to continue being flexible, bringing income? And for me, it was to have a small business at home. I could do this in any way that I would like, but this is just how my life is right now. It could change later on. But for me, I thought, why don't I start a business right now? So when we have kids one day, I will be more stable to be a mom and bring in income. So that's like all the things that I thought about before I started a small business, and it all just made sense. So 1, it started from my husband, making shirts for him. 2, the algorithm just pointed me to this place. 3, my future, it probably just makes sense for my future. And the 4th one was, I had been at my recent workplace for 7 years, and 7 years is a lot. As a 23-year-old, I've been there since I was 16. It's technically my first job, and it has been my longest job. So for me, I was like, I need to do something else with my life. I loved where I worked. I loved doing what I did. I genuinely did, because I love to serve people. And it was great, but I just kind of, get tired. I got a little exhausted from my workplace, and I just knew that I had to do something new and something bigger to suit my life. So yeah, the other thing was also getting tired of my old workplace and just thinking about future. That's what led me to Rooted Co. And that also leads me to the next question, which is, how did you think of your business name? My business name is called Rooted Co. And I had a lot of names that I needed to pick from. And I had my family help me. And this was before like ChatGPT came to play, or like all of these things. Because before I started my business, I actually did not have TikTok. I barely posted on Instagram. I barely posted on Facebook. I was not very active on social media. I loved my private life. And even though I had like a YouTube channel, I just stopped posting. So when I got married and everything, I kind of went like a little bit MIA, just because I would rather live in the moment than to post and keep filming. That is one of my difficulties right now too, is keeping up with content, because I've never really been someone who was super like content consistent. So anyways, aside from that, what am I even getting at? I totally forgot where I was going. Oh, my name. Oh my gosh. I was like, what is the question? Okay, my name. Okay. I thought of my name because for me personally, I'm a person who truly believes that no matter what comes your way and the blessings that you have, do not forget where you came from. Do not forget who you are. Do not forget to be rooted in Christ, rooted in where you came from, rooted in who you were before your life changed. I hold on to my past life and everything that I went through so deeply, in a way that, wow, that's where I was and this is where I am now, because God is so good. And I feel like it just made sense for me to, I've always been someone who has to do something with meaning. So this is what I came up with. I thought something just simple and memorable. So after I thought of the word rooted, I did more research, and then I found a verse to go along with it that aligns with my beliefs and something that means so much to me. It's Colossians 2:7, and it talks about just being built, like building your life on him and building your roots through him. So it just made sense. that my name was Rooted Co. And when I thought about that, it just really all came together. So that's how I came with my name. It's just who I am, and I hope to never forget where my roots are and everything that comes with who I was to make me who I am today. So yeah, that's where my name came from. And then the next question is, what are some day-to-day challenges? It changes so much. My challenges in my business changes so much. The first year was really hard to manage personal life with business life, especially because I'm at home. My business is based at home, so I have to navigate when it's work time and when it's time to like stop the clock and stop working. I have really hard time doing that because every time, like, I think day to day, like, it's hard for me to rest because there's always something that I can do. And yeah, that's something that's difficult. The other difficult thing is, for me, is content. Keeping up with content is such, like, it's a job in itself. And I really am working towards trying to have content be a part of my job and actually viewing it as a job, because one day I do want to have it be a job. But I've just never been someone who was, I don't know. Content has always been in my life here and there because growing up, I am just someone who loves to stay in the moment but also capture the moment. If you like, we have a private family channel, and I literally will take videos from like Christmas, Valentine's Day, someone's birthdays, edit it together and post it on the family channel. That's how much I love capturing moments. So I have, like, that's my private life that I do. I already do that without like thinking of it as a job. I just love content and like capturing moments and posting it because it's for memories. So content on business is a little different because for me, I'm like, it's less meaningful for me because I'm like just packing, or I'm just making a wristlet or making a bracelet. It's not as meaningful to me to film that and edit it and post it. So that is something that I don't enjoy as much as I do just meeting people, conversating with people. But I'm trying to shift my mind to really believe that, okay, like, girl, this is also work, and you have to, I don't know, think of it in a good light and work on it. I am trying to do that. But that also goes into my next question, which is, what is your work schedule? What does it look like? How many hours do you work? I don't have an exact hour clock that I work around. I work whenever I have to. So weekly, on a slow week, it might be like 15 hours a week. And then on a busy week, it might be like 50 hours a week because it just varies so much. Right now we're in a slow season, so my work hours are like 10 to 15 hours, and that includes filming, editing, computer work, analytics, all of that. All of the computer stuff that comes into my business because I have an online store. And then content. Content takes up so much of my time, and that's also why I don't enjoy it as much, but I should because I'm not physically as busy as when market season comes. So I should take this time to really focus and tune into my content side of my business. But yes, my work schedule varies, and then I try to stick to a schedule. I will tell you guys my ideal schedule. My ideal schedule is 2 to 6 p.m., which is after the morning because I have a very busy morning. If you don't know, I homeschool my brothers. So that takes up a majority of my morning. And then from 2 to 6 is when I have to make dinner and do family time because I'm a wife. So 2 to 6 is when I can make content and work, and then I will do family time and do my personal life time after 6. And then when people go to bed at like 10 or 11, I will finish up with anything that I didn't get done during the 2 to 6 hours. So if you think about it, I work about 6 hours a week on a normal business day, hypothetically. But yeah, that is my work schedule. And then another question is, what was the biggest order you've had? This one's a fun question. The biggest order I've had, apart from bulk and custom orders, because I do have that as well, I bulk or accept custom orders. Aside from that, my biggest order is from one of my good friends, Tammy. Tammy is someone I met through social media. I think she saw me on YouTube, and then she followed me on Instagram, and that's when we started to talk and just share life. And then she ordered from me, which is so sweet. But her order was about $250. And when I saw that order come through, I could not believe it. I screamed. I was like, you must have tapped. And I still feel that way with every order that comes by. Like, literally, sometimes when people are like, hey, I'm ready to order, I'm ready to buy at my markets, I'm like, are you sure? Like, in my head, it's like, I don't even know where I am in this life right now that I have a business and you want to buy my products. It's really still like super naturally insane to me that this is my life. But yes, when I saw that order come through, it was such a sweet moment for me, because it just affirms and it helps encourage me in my business. So yes, hers was my biggest still to this date. If you want to go see what she ordered and how I packed it, I did record it and post it on my Instagram. You're just gonna have to scroll and scroll until you find it. But thank you, Tammy, if you're watching this. And then the next one is, what do you love most about what you're doing? I honestly just love the people. I genuinely love the people that I meet. Because I have a business that is personal to everyone's life, I'm able to use this business and just like truly bring intentionality and purpose to it through simply having conversations with people. I've had such like sweet conversations with people in real life and on like through text and social media. And I could you not, I remember every single meaningful conversation I've had with people that I met at my markets. The last one I had was last month at the Gurney Mill, Illinois mall market that I went to, and I met this sweet couple. And this couple was telling me that they've been struggling with infertility problems, which is so sad, but it was such a encouraging time for me to just encourage them and for them to encourage us. And he's a pastor. The guy was a pastor, and I was just talking to them and they were talking to me about their struggles. But then I happened to see that they had a baby with them, and they were telling me that they struggled so much and this is their blessing. They had a miracle child. She was the sweetest, cutest little baby girl. I just wanted to be like, can I hold your baby? Can I love your baby? She was so cute. But those are one of the moments that I'm so thankful for this business for. One of my other, the next question is, what's your biggest achievement? So I'm thinking about that. So we are going to talk about achievements now. Mine is truly just being able to have people be reminded of who God is. So my main achievement I feel like I have achieved is having people be able to conversate about their faith to strangers. I've had a lot of people contact me and tell me that because they were wearing my apparel, they were able to talk to someone about Jesus that day. The first time I heard about this experience was my friend. Her name is Caitlin. I don't know if you're watching this, but if you are, I'm so blessed for you. She texted me and she was telling me that she went to a gas station and then the cashier asked her what her shirt meant, and they were able to talk about Jesus that day. And it's something small and simple, but it's so meaningful. You don't know when anything is going to be planted. You don't know when anything is going to bloom, and in faith and how God is going to work into people. So for me to be able to play one small part of that in people's lives means so much to me. It's something I just never envisioned for my business to do. And then I've had other people tell me as well. Now it's a normal thing that happens because people will tell me that they experienced this and someone liked their shirt and someone asked them about what it meant and they were able to talk about it, which is just crazy that this is normal now about my business. If you're not used to how my business is, my apparel is kind of personal to the faith. So if you're not a Christian, you won't necessarily know what shirts mean. I do have shirts that are very understandable, and I have shirts that you have to know the meaning to understand the phrase. So one of my shirts say 70 times 7. Some people won't know what that is, and I've had a lot of people ask me what that is, and I'm able to explain it to them. And then another example is my shirt that says I'm the one. If you don't know what that is either, I have been able to explain to people the parable of the 99 sheep and the lost sheep being lost and just finding that sheep again. So I have been able to conversate with people because of these phrases that not a lot of people know the interpretation from. And I feel like that's such a sweet achievement that I just didn't know was going to happen. And now that it's happened, it's something that I take to heart and I love. So that would probably be my biggest achievement. If you guys keep seeing me look down and look this way, it's because I am looking on my computer. The other question is, what are some things people don't know about small business life? This is a lot. I feel like a lot of people don't know anything about small business life because I used to be one of those people. I used to be someone who was so clueless about how small business life owner businesses worked. And I think one of the main things that surprised me was that small business owners don't profit off everything that they sell their products for. So for example, if I sell my products for $40, a lot of people think that I profit off that and $40 is all mine, but it's not. It's probably like half of that. And a lot of people don't know that that price entails labor, cost of products, things that you need to actually make that product a product, such as a heat press, or an iron or whatever. A lot of people don't know all the skills and all the time that I have had to research to be able to make this product. And no one just knows that. When you think about someone selling a shirt, you just think someone knows how to do that and they are like an expert. But for me, I had to stay up for like, I don't know, it took me like a month to learn how to get all the products, to have the best quality products, to actually make it for my business. It takes a lot of work, took a lot of research and a lot of skills. No one knows that after the research, I have to practice. I have had so many times where I have done mistakes to apparel and I just have to take the losses because no one knows that over time, your skill is so valuable compared to someone who just doesn't understand that side of small business life. So a lot of people don't know that you have to build skill, you have to practice, you have to do all these things to actually make this cute thing. And a lot of people don't also know the time that I put into it. So someone might look at a design and be like, that is so simple, why is it $40? Well, they don't know that I took 5 hours to think of that design and then make it. And then I think something that people don't know is also something called like direct cost and indirect cost. This can be things that are me buying a shirt for $10. That's a direct cost that I have to pay. And the indirect costs are things like utilities. My utility bills are a lot higher than a normal person because my heat press takes so much energy. So I have to pay more for utilities for me to be able to have a business at home. I did not have a PC before this. I didn't have a computer before this. I bought it for my business, and my computer also takes a lot of my utility because it's on so much. I have to pay for Canva. I have to pay for Shopify. I have to pay for little things like shipping labels. Yeah, it's just a lot of things that I did not know about, I was not aware about. But now that I know, it's like, well, I will tell people that because it was so surprising to me, all the costs that come into why people price things the way that they do and just everything that goes into how hardworking a small business owner is. So yeah, that's what a lot of people don't know. And then the other question is, what is something you enjoy most about your markets? I will say, apart from the people that I meet and all the conversations that I have, something personal to me that I enjoy most about my markets is the aftermath of setting up. After I've set up everything and I did a layout, when I look at everything, all my products, I am so proud of myself because you never realize how much work you put into it until you see everything in front of your face. And I'm like, whoa, I made all of that. I designed all of that. I handcrafted all of those products and worked tireless hours to make all of those things come to life, which is so crazy when I think about like t-shirts and kid apparel and bookmarks and wristlets and cups. Like everything that is laid out after I set up everything is crazy. I'm like, who am I? Who did this? Was it me? And it's just so crazy because I'm able to look at like a specific bracelet and I'm like, I remember like, you know, that bracelet broke like 5 times and then I had to work towards it, and this one took like 3 more hours and this one did. So it's just like little things like, wow, in the struggle you don't know anything. And when I'm making bookmarks, it doesn't occur to me that I am the person who designed it and did all this hard work for it. And then when you see it in real life, you're like, whoa, I did that. Thank you, Jesus, for giving me the strength. So yeah, it's just a really proud moment that I really am just so encouraged by when I see everything. And it's just something that affirms me as well. When I see everything come to life, it affirms my, like, I don't know, my purpose in this business, because it's just crazy. So yeah, something little that I take so much pride in is just seeing my setup and everything that I made after setting up during a market. So yeah, that is, I think, it for my questions. I have so many videos planned for this year. I hope that I stay on my YouTube schedule. I will tell you guys that I am going to back down on short form content, and I'm trying to work more towards my YouTube content. I just feel like YouTube is more personal and you get to know and actually sit with the person and get to know them more. So I want to focus on YouTube more than short form content. I will be still hopefully active on there whenever I can be, but hopefully this year I'm able to really focus more on YouTube. So hopefully you guys will be seeing more of me on this channel. If you would subscribe, I would appreciate that so much. Thank you for being here if you have stayed this long. If you are still here, please comment down brown hearts. That is my favorite color, and it just means that I love you guys. So comment down brown hearts. I'm so thankful that you're here, and I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much for everything. I love you guys, and God bless. Bye.